Hello, welcome to all to our channel BioBook. Today I am going to discuss about Krebs cycle. Okay, in the last video I discussed about glycolysis, and after glycolysis next step is Krebs cycle. Actually here what happened, pyruvic acid which is formed at the end of glycolysis undergoes complete oxidation to form energy. Okay, so this is occurs in a cyclic manner. So this cycle is generally called as Krebs cycle, and actually this Krebs cycle it was discovered by Sir Hans Krebs in the year of 1937, and he got Nobel in the year of 1953. Okay, but here for this cycle there are several other names are also there. It is also called as citric acid cycle. You know why? Because the first compound, the first acid which is produced in this cycle is citric acid. That's why this cycle is also called as citric acid cycle. And then it is also called as TCA cycle, that means tricarboxylic acid cycle. Why? Because in citric acid 3 carboxylic groups are there, COOH, 3 carboxylic groups. That's why this cycle is also called as tricarboxylic acid cycle, that is nothing but TCA cycle, right? So let us see about this cycle. Actually Krebs cycle it takes place in mitochondrial matrix. Okay, it occurs in matrix of mitochondria. Okay, so we know mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of cell, where it produces ATP, right, which is nothing but energy currency of the cell. So in mitochondria matrix is there, in that matrix this entire cycle takes place, right. Let us take this cycle. So pyruvic acid it is the end product of glycolysis. Okay, it is 3 carbon compound. So this pyruvic acid first of all undergoes oxidative decarboxylation. So oxidative decarboxylation means where oxidation takes place and decarboxylation also takes place. That's why this is called as oxidative decarboxylation. So here you see in this conversion of pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A, one NADH plus H plus also produced, and carbon dioxide is removed, coenzyme A is also added here. Okay, all these reactions takes place in the presence of an enzyme, that is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Okay, so this is called as oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. After the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, the product is acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, now this acetyl coenzyme A enters mitochondrial matrix. Okay, so already in mitochondrial matrix there will be presence of oxaloacetic acid, OAA. It is also called as OAA. Oxaloacetic acid is there. So acetyl coenzyme A is going to react with this oxaloacetic acid. Okay, so in the presence of an enzyme, that is citric synthetase. Okay, and the product is citric acid. This is the first acid, this is the first tricarboxylic acid produced in Krebs cycle. That's why this cycle is also called as a citric acid cycle. Right, now this citric acid cycle undergoes a series of oxidative reactions. Let us see first what happened here. First it loses water molecule in the presence of aconitase, and it converts into cis aconitic acid, right. And after that this cis aconitic acid again it takes one water molecule in the presence of same enzyme aconitase, and it converts into isocitric acid. Okay, then isocitric acid. After this formation of isocitric acid in the presence of an enzyme, that is isocitric dehydrogenase, in the presence of that enzyme it undergoes or it converts into oxalosuccinic acid. Here what happened, from isocitric acid one H2 is removed, H2. So H2 is removed. So whenever this H2 is removed and that H2 is taken by NAD plus, which is converted into NADH plus H plus. Okay, and here the enzyme is isocitric dehydrogenase. It is very easy to remember the names of the enzymes. Okay, like what is happening here? Hydrogen is removing, that means D means removing, dehydrogenation. So the enzyme is dehydrogenase. So from which this hydrogen is removed? From isocitric acid. So that's why the name of the enzyme is isocitric dehydrogenase. I think it is very clear, right? And the next step, oxalosuccinic acid undergoes decarboxylation. It releases one carbon dioxide molecule and converts into alpha ketogluteric acid. Okay. Now this alpha ketogluteric acid, in the presence of an enzyme alpha ketogluteric dehydrogenase, and I think you got the meaning of this enzyme. See, dehydrogenase, that means here from alpha ketogluteric acid one H2 is going to remove. Who are going to take that H2? Nothing but NAD plus. NAD plus, it receives those H2 which are released by alpha ketogluteric acid and converts into NADH plus H plus. Okay, that's why the name of the enzyme is alpha ketogluteric dehydrogenase. So this is the name of the substrate, and this substrate molecule losing H2, that's why it is called as alpha ketogluteric dehydrogenase, right? And here one CO2 molecule also released here, and coenzyme A is added in this reaction here. And whenever alpha ketogluteric acid, in the presence of alpha ketogluteric dehydrogenase, it converts into succinyl coenzyme A. So this is succinyl coenzyme A. So what is happening here? So here what is happening? One NADH plus H plus are producing, and coenzyme A is adding, and CO2 is also released from here in this reaction, right? Now succinyl coenzyme A. Succinyl coenzyme A, in the presence of an enzyme succinyl coenzyme A synthetase. This is the name of the enzyme, succinyl coenzyme A synthetase. It removes its coenzyme A group. See, it is removing, and here one GTP is formed. GTP means guanosine triphosphate. From GTP is forming. GDP means guanosine diphosphate. So it is also one of the energy rich molecule, and this GDP, it takes one IP. So whenever guanosine diphosphate combines with IP with the help of energy which is released during this reaction, it converts into guanosine triphosphate, okay, and the product is succinic acid. So here succinic acid is produced, right? Next, succinic acid. Succinic acid, again here in the presence of an enzyme succinic dehydrogenase. See, again the name of the enzyme, dehydrogenase. That means succinic acid is going to lose one H2. That H2 is going to taken by FAD, right? So it is the enzyme is named as succinic dehydrogenase. Is this clear? Okay. So FAD converts into FADH2. Flavin adeno dinucleotide protein. Okay, so here this is also one of the energy rich molecule FADH2, and succinic acid converts into fumaric acid, right? Next, fumaric acid, here in the presence of an enzyme fumarase, what happened? It takes one H2O molecule and converts into malic acid. Okay, malic acid, then in the presence of again malic dehydrogenase enzyme, the name of the enzyme is malic dehydrogenase. So malic acid converts into oxaloacetic acid, and here in this reaction what happened, one H2 is released from malic acid, and that H2 is taken by NAD plus, which is converted into NADH plus H plus. Okay, again oxaloacetic acid formed here. Okay, then cycle again takes place. So this is the complete cycle of citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle. Okay, see here how many NADH plus H plus molecules are forming. Let us calculate. Here number 1, right, and next isocitric acid and oxalosuccinic acid here in between, here number 2, and alpha keto to succinyl coenzyme A here number 3, right, and malic acid to oxaloacetic acid number 4. Totally how many NADH plus H plus molecules are producing here? 4. Okay, let us write here 4 NADH plus H plus, right, and then 1 FADH2. So 1 FADH2 and then 1 GTP. Okay, here 1 GTP. Let us calculate how much energy is, how many ATP molecules are forming in one Krebs cycle. Actually here 1 NADH plus H plus means it is equal to 3 ATP molecules. Okay, it is equal to 3 ATP molecules. Here how many NADH plus H plus are there? 4 are there. From each one 3. So 4 3s are 12. So 12 ATP molecules. 12 ATP. From here 12 ATP molecules. And then FADH2. 1 FADH2 yields 2 ATP molecules. So here only 1 FADH2 is there. So that is equal to 2 ATP molecules, right? And GTP is equal to ATP. So 1 ATP. See what will be the total? 12, 13, 14, 15. So totally 15 ATP molecules are forming during a Krebs cycle. That means whenever pyruvic acid undergoes complete oxidation during this cyclic process, how many ATP molecules are formed? 15 ATP molecules are formed. Okay, this is very very important to remember. Okay, this will be important question in your NEET examination or MSET or AIMS, whatever it may be. So the number of ATPs producing one Krebs cycle, those are nothing but 15 ATP molecules. Okay, so this is the method to calculate the number of ATPs are forming in this cycle. And here one more thing I want to discuss. Key, it is very easy to write this cycle. Okay, first you learn the substrate molecules: pyruvic acid, acetyl coenzyme, oxaloacetic acid, citric acid, cis-aconitic acid, isocitric acid, oxalosuccinic acid, alpha-ketogluteric acid, succinyl coenzyme, succinic acid, fumaric acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid. Then you have to remember where, in which steps energy is forming, in which steps H2O is releasing, in which step H2O is adding, and in which step carbon dioxide is releasing. Okay, like that you need to remember all these steps, and it is very easy to remember the names of the enzymes also. Okay, if you take any one of these steps, for example from here to here, isocitric acid in the presence of isocitric dehydrogenase converts into oxalosuccinic acid. Here one H2 is released from isocitric acid, that H2 taken by NAD plus and it is converted into NADH plus H plus. Okay, like this. Just if you learn the cycle, then it is very easy to write in the process of text. Okay, no need to do ratta, because these are a cyclic process. These are the continuous steps, and these steps are very easy if you learn one by one. Okay, so that's all. This is about Krebs cycle, which takes place in mitochondria. Okay.